Ron, to you all over at the Army. Tell us about the priorities that you have laid down. Give us your top three or four that you're going to be focused on this year in 2022.
Yeah, and that's a great lead in, and as has been discussed about the zero trust architecture and principles, recognize it's really a framework and a journey. It's not a thing, but a critical key priority for 2022, as directed by the DoD CIO and U.S. Cyber Command, is an initiative called Comply to Connect. And this really is the next major step in that network security, so that we can lead to discovery, identification, and documenting all endpoints. And it really is about that you limit you understand what all the endpoints are. You limit the access of those endpoints to what they have demonstrated credentials to get access to. And this is really, really critical, and it's both for external malicious cyber actors, but Luke, as you mentioned, it also is important from an insider threat point of view. So Comply to Connect is a major initiative in the DoD, and clearly that's a priority then for the Army. I would say the next one, which we're also working, and it's again related in this larger zero trust journey, is we are restructuring our Active Directories. Really grew up the Army variety of networks from a theater construct, and we're really moving this year to have an enterprise domain construct. So we're completely reworking our Active Directory, and that will be absolutely critical. Again, related also with the Comply to Connect, but as users move, because the Army is very deployable, as users move around the world, being able to seamlessly reconnect from wherever you're at, opposed to having to re-image computers in the previous domain, theater domain construct. And then I would say, building on what Robert said, again, this all requires us having the highest trained and qualified workforce, both military and civilian. And so our construct about acquiring, developing, employing, and retaining the best talent we can have. There's a lot of tremendous opportunities in the Army, both for military and civilian, and we have some of the really tremendous opportunities for civilians around the world. And so having that workforce is critical, not only for operations, but for sure for cybersecurity.
I'm curious to know how these executive orders that have come out, the recent guidance that's come out of the White House, how's that sort of, is that adjusting your priorities or just allowing you to implement these priorities much easier with some clarity and authority? I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, so I really think in many ways it's complementary. Clearly, the Army is part of the Department of Defense, and when you really think about, as we say, there's the DoD Information Network. There is not an Army separate. We view it as we have the Army portion of the DoD Information Network, and so what is directed from the Office Secretary of Defense level, principally by the DoD CIO, and then with U.S. Cyber Command, as they are absolutely have the responsibility to operate and defend across that DoD network. We're really part of that. So there's a lot of synergy of what the DoD is working and the direction from the administration. I think it feeds back to itself. Again, the DoD, given the scope and scale, is obviously a huge player across the federal government. And I think it's complementary about moving it forward. It isn't any hard left or hard right. It's evolving forward, and we're very in sync with what the administration has been putting out or what was referenced in the recent National Defense Authorization Act. It's very consistent with where we're moving. The challenge is, can we move the pace at which we can move there, right? It's absolutely critical to the Army, to Army readiness and modernization, to have that resilient, capable network environment, enterprise to tactical. And so it is about moving forward, about the pace, about readiness and modernization.